Welcome back
to the Revlimiter. This is episode 1.
Well,
we're gonna hope this all works.
Yeah, For one, I did want to talk about Chrysler.
Speaking of Chrysler, this is Christopher, and I am Nicholas.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We're going full names today.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the Revlimiter, and we are stupid and dumb and don't know what we're doing.
That's spot on.
Here we are today with Mary Chrysler.
Mary Chrysler.
Mary Chrysler.
Welcome.
Praise Jesus.
Praise the Chrysler.
And his son.
So
that was right. Catholic. I'm Catholic.
Are you? Oh, okay.
Moving on.
I was like, what?
No, yeah. Crazy switch up on you.
Yeah, that was a shock. I can't lie. I wanted to bring up Chrysler for a few reasons actually. Chrysler. When you think of Chrysler, what car comes to mind?
I actually don't know. Chrysler, is that the one that does the weird, isn't it that long car that sounds like good? You know what I'm talking about. It looks like a Lincoln. It looks like a really souped up Lincoln.
Either the Crossfire or the Sebring, I think you're thinking of.
Probably.
But what I think
My boss has one.
Is the PT Cruiser.
I've heard of it, but I don't know.
It's so ugly.
I've ever seen one before.
I guarantee it is the most sold product that they have released.
It's not the really low one that looks.
No,
like,
it's
that's
really,
a Prowler, right?
That is the Plymouth Prowler.
Plymouth.
That was Plymouth's last car,
okay.
which that's actually a really neat car.
That is a neat car. My dad has an RC car of it. Super sick.
Yeah.
Super sick. It looks kind of like the SSR did.
Yeah,
it
shows.
Truck.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Cargo now. Actually, speaking of that, when I was loading a car with groceries. It's my job, but it made this sound that sounded like there was a wrench that was just going in circles and tumbling and in a dryer, and I was like, that's not a good sound to hear. I was like, that's crazy that it drives.
Yeah.
But so the PT Cruiser, I don't think I've ever seen a PT Cruiser, and I'm probably gonna get crucified for this.
So let me, because I know you have.
I don't have internet, so I can't look it up.
I have.
That's
a little bit of internet, and I'm gonna try because I know you have, and once you see it, you're gonna be like,
you're probably right. But I can't think of it.
Because it is one of the best-selling American cars, for horrible reasons.
I do. That's why I was thinking of the Prowler, because I was thinking of the...
Yeah.
It's
so ugly, right? We can both... But that was their best-selling car until the 300C, which is just which is the Lincoln one. The one that looks like a Lincoln.
Okay,
one that looks like kind of like a Rolls... Bentley.
I think that's the one I'm thinking of, yeah.
So that one is what they have now as their most, sell point. But they used to have all these cars, right? Early 2000s. Mm-hmm. And they started to fall off the cliff.
Yeah.
And now they only have the 300C and the Chrysler Pacifica, which is a minivan.
Mm.
And now they want to breach into EV with something called the Airflow.
More EV.
And what I'm saying is they can actually bring this around because they're not taking the same way they took it in 2012 when they decided to kill off everything except their luxury brand. The new CEO, or the CCO, one of them, the one that's, whatever one, said it, has been credited to say, we are not a luxury brand or a premium brand. We need to come to terms with that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't that it feels like that's their whole thing.
But that's what nobody looks at them anymore and goes, oh, a Chrysler.
I guess
that's a really nice car.
Yeah, they don't.
I
put
bet
it
you
on
spent
$80,000,
$100,000 on that car. You don't do that when you look at a Chrysler.
Yeah, that's very true.
But with the Airflow, they're finally bringing something that's actually cool looking.
Okay.
And it actually has somewhat good ratings.
Okay.
On what it's going to be. It's going to be $50,000 for an SUV based. EV.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's going to be a all-wheel drive, 400 miles as travel range.
Yeah.
And that's equivalent to the $80,000 Model X.
Okay. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Is it about the same size as the Model X? Or
yeah,
is it
they're both SUVs. The Model X has a little bit more luxury features, but a cool thing that they're kind of trying to innovate so they don't stay behind they did. They putting Wi-Fi in a way for businessmen to talk on screens, conferencing
in the car.
Yeah.
It's kind of
which is kind of lame, but at the same time,
it's kind of bougie.
They're trying to take different action.
Yeah, which I like. I mean, it's bold, but it's kind of like also. Like, first, Tesla did the self-driving thing, and everybody was, like, smoking weed or, like, having sex in the front seat.
Yeah.
And now it's this, that you could have conference calls in the front. It's like, I feel like it's also distracting, but, I mean, it's
at the point
take on it.
Yeah, at the point where cars are going to become, they can avoid basically everything.
Yeah.
Then it's not going to be more of, is a distraction.
Yeah.
But right now, that's still a comparable argument.
Well, I mean, Tesla can already avoid everything. You saw it jump that 50-foot jump. It only hit 2 cars. Come on now.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Dude, it was I told you about that. It was a rental, right?
Yeah. Crazy. That was a rental.
So,
I mean, like...
yeah.
How mad do you have to be when you... Can you drive that still?
No.
There's no shot.
No
so
way.
What do you do with it? You just go tow it to this place and they'll figure
Either
it
it
out.
did drive, and it was, like, terribly
It was
broken.
just like... It's like a...
What I picture it driving off is, I picture the wheel kind of doing this.
You
when
know,
it
yeah.
goes.
I picture like a drift car with like no wheel. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's just like grinding
Yeah.
like, along the road. Yeah.
I saw an interview with the guy who got hit, one of the cars that got hit.
Really?
I thought that was pretty funny. He was just
crazy.
he was the average California man that's just kind of like, yeah, that happened last night.
That was crazy.
Happens often.
Happens often. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Teslas jumping.
Yeah, we experience a lot of Tesla jumping around here.
It's like a rodeo sport. That's good though. I mean, it's more EV, which is interesting.
And I don't like anything that Chrysler's put out in this 2010 past.
That's
I don't like a single thing that they've put out.
I don't think anything's memorable, especially
No, because I'm sure the 300C is okay.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be like, if I had, I don't know how much it is, but if I had enough money, there was a lot of other comparable,
Cars.
Yeah. Especially when you're
Kia
doing
now.
a luxury. That brings me to my next point.
That's crazy.
Dude, that was a hell of a
What
segue.
a transition. That's crazy.
Okay, so Kia.
Can I start this off? I personally am in love with Kia cars now. Anytime I see a Kia, a Stinger, a K5, a Telluride, like a Karma, like the little short SUV ones, I love them. They just all look good. Like none of them look bad, and it's just like they upped their game.
Yeah.
Like exponentially.
So
It's kind of hype.
my big thing is Kia in 2006 were ugly, slow,
and cheap.
broken, cheap,
Yeah.
very bad. Yeah.
I mean, cars like are just like you see a Key and you
The
go, what car
Stinger,
is that?
man.
The Stinger is oh my god.
This car right here, this GT3000 VR4, is what a Kia Stinger is the same build. It's all-wheel drive, twin turbo V6.
Yeah.
And we're finally getting back to where we're not doing really crappy tiny 4-cylinders with a single turbo.
Which don't shit on 4-cylinders, but
No, I personally love
great
4-cylinders.
yeah.
I drive
You do
a
drive
4-cylinder.
Yeah, I mean, I said this whenever I was talking to people. I would talk to people about Kia. I was like, Kia really with the Stinger, they put themselves on the map, but with their new logo, they put themselves in the car world, up there.
When they changed their logo, they changed a lot.
They did.
So I would say that a lot of people associate that logo change with being
with the new era of
with
Kia.
the new era, and that's what they were trying to do.
And they did it.
And it looks so good.
Yeah, it's a great logo, and it makes you question too, because now anybody that when you saw a Kia logo before, you were like, oh, Kia, cool.
Yeah.
Now you see that logo and you go, what car is that? Because you don't recognize it.
And also
and then it resets you.
Every model that they have is pristine.
It really is.
I saw a Telluride. It looks
Telluride
amazing.
Looks great. So my cousin been on a wait list for a Telluride for 2 years.
Really? 2 years?
And she's a lawyer. I mean, she could outright buy it, but she's I think it's for the new models, but she's just
right. Yeah.
She wants one. My mom's the same way. She wants a Telluride, but it's there's such nice cars. You can see a Telluride and you go, that's a really nice SUV.
Yeah.
No. I guess, is it Suburban?
I think it's
larger.
It's an SUV. I would say it's an SUV.
It's a big ass
Suburban
SUV.
is a Chevy.
Suburban is a Chevy, but I think it's they kind of coined the term.
I would say
the
Suburban is just a truck with a thing on the back, in my opinion. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
I think it is more classified as a larger SUV.
Yeah.
I mean, the K5 GT accelerates to 0 to 60 in 6.9 seconds.
And the K5 doesn't look half bad. I think it's cheaper than the Stinger.
It is cheaper,
but
yeah.
it's a comparable car. It looks almost the same.
If you wanted more comfort over the Stinger is mostly sport. like sport based.
True, but I mean, like even like families have it. Like when I do groceries, like I deliver groceries.
Sure, but is it
like,
the GT line?
Yeah.
Really?
This lady was like, she wears pit vipers when she picks up. I was like, you're a psychopath, and I love it. Oh my gosh! But she picks it up, and she has her kids in the car. Like, you know,
Yeah.
she like it's her family car. And I was like, I love your car, and she was like, yeah, my kids told me to get it. And I was like, that's crazy. Her kids are like 7 or 8. But she got it. She was like, yeah, I love it. I mean, I do everything in it. I'm like, oh, go you, sister. And she drove off. She drove off, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, Kia's sedan lines, they still make cars that are pretty trash. For instance, the Rio,
Yeah.
which is one of the cheapest cars in America.
Oh yeah.
Last time I saw a Kia on the road, I swear it had drum brakes.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's not good.
But I don't know if that was like whatever modified or if it was just, that's what they had.
That's crazy. Drum brakes nowadays.
Yeah.
That's not good.
They definitely aren't.
I don't think I've ever changed a drum brake before.
I don't think you have any.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're so outdated now.
Well, yeah, they definitely are. The Prelude, that's the last Prelude generation with drum brakes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the first gen. Which, those took, did I tell you, like, when I was struggling at the very beginning when I got this car, it was because I couldn't get the drum brakes off.
Really?
Yeah, so they had, it's different for how they work. Inside is shoes. So, like, think
11
about...
and a half or 12?
So, instead of how it actually... like, on a disc brake. Think about a disc brake.
Yeah.
You have the brake rotor. You have the brake pad, and then you have the caliper.
Yeah.
Imagine a center caliper, 2 brake pads like this instead of on either side that push out against a rotor like that circles it. So they push out against the walls, and that's what slows it down.
Oh, interesting.
So it's basically backwards. Instead of pulling in, it pushes out. And that's what those are. So they'll fuse
Like
on those out positions
Oh.
because there's springs that hold them back in. So the springs gradually fail, and they fuse to the walls.
Oh, okay.
That's what happened on my Prelude.
Oh.
So after a few days of striking it with a hammer, it finally came loose.
Interesting. And it's just because of rust, I assume?
Yeah, it's just rust.
I gotcha.
I mean, it's not really its fault. It kind of sat in the marsh.
True,
for
it did just kind of
20 years.
It was buried in the
dirt.
depths of hell. That is. It is. I mean, Kia did it.
Kia did it, yeah.
Kia
The
did
$30 trillion worth right now. That is how much their company is worth right now, and I know that their net growth is $50 billion this year or 2020.
Nice.
Yeah. GR, the GR. Do you know what GR is?
No idea.
Gazoo Racing, Toyota's line of sport cars. So
not
the
like not like the 86. Was that a
GR 86?
That's what it was. Okay.
GR Supra.
Because
are the highest
you told me. Okay,
lines
yeah.
in the UK and European, basically the EU, right? Most of the Europe. They got a car called the GR Yaris. It's a 4-door hatchback. GR Yaris. The GR Yaris is a 4-door hatch that's all-wheel drive and has a 3-cylinder turbo pushing 300 horsepower.
3-cylinder turbo. Pushing how much horsepower?
300.
It's not bad. That's pretty. That's
And
pretty quickie.
It was
Go-y.
one of the best cars Toyota's dropped, to the point where it would just slide on corners. Where if you gave it any throttle on corners, it would and slide.
Wow.
Yeah, the GR Yaris was built.
I've heard of the Yaris.
Yeah,
I've seen it. I saw it in that race. Remember that showed you that they the car flipped. When he kind of
That's the
him?
Yaris.
That's
yes,
the
Yaris. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, I thought I knew.
Yeah, that's the Yaris.
I
The
remember
video.
you saying something of it.
Yeah, he popped up in the air.
Yeah,
that's the Yaris. Insane. But in America, we discontinued the Yaris way before, because in America we like the big cars.
We like big muscle.
Yeah, big cars and stuff like that. So basically, we don't have a spot for 4-door hatchback sport cars.
And even the Civic did away with it. The Civic had, like I told you, it's like a liftback now.
Yeah, I mean,
like their liftback.
They're really getting rid of all that stuff in
Which
the
sucks
US.
for rally. Like rally is they're gonna have not much work.
Other
than
Honda
Subaru.
was actually rallying the Fit, but that's besides the point.
That's crazy.
Subaru. I mean, if you go back to original rally stuff, it's 2-door coupes.
Yeah.
It's not hatchbacks.
True.
But there's this new Ford Puma. It's a very sick car.
Interesting.
When it's on the rally, it's a very terrible car off of rally.
Yeah, I
but
can imagine.
It's a very nice car. Yeah, very nice car.
The Ford RS, like that was. Like,
that's a pretty good car.
is it a good on the road?
Yeah.
I've only driven it in Forza.
It's a pretty good car. I mean, well, it's
I love
not.
that car.
You like it or you don't?
I love that car.
Yeah.
It's so pretty looking. It like has
The
like
Fiesta ST though, I would say is comparable to my SI. The
Really?
RS is comparable to the Civic Type R.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
So that RS, Focus RS, is like Civic Golf R territory. Civic Type R, Golf R.
Golf. Okay.
Yeah, which is the rear-wheel drive Golf.
Yeah.
And the SI line has competitors that are the GTI, which is the front-wheel drive Golf with the turbo engine, better engine, and then the Ford Fiesta ST when they still made those cars. Now they don't make the Focus RS anymore, but the Focus RS is one of my favorite Fords as a whole.
Yeah, a lot of people remember like the Focus RS. A lot
Yeah.
of people still have them. I see them on TikTok and they're like, I drive a Focus, and I'm like, great, good for you.
Where was I going with this point, man?
GR Yaris.
Yeah, so they've been like in the pictures.
So good at keeping them in line. Moving on.
In the pictures, there's been a ton of teasers for the GR Corolla. So I don't know if you
the
know
Toyota Corolla and GR.
So I don't know if you know what the Corolla was originally.
No, like a long time ago.
So
originally?
the Corolla originally was how the 8.6 is now.
Interesting.
So the original Corolla was a 4-cylinder powered by a 4GAE engine.
Question: the 8.6 is the thing from Initial D.
There you go.
But
Do you
the
know what that
8.6
do you know what-
now is the one that's trashy.
No. So
The 8.6 now is good.
The 8.6 now is good,
Good,
but it
okay.
is a coupe. It is more
Yeah, it's
as but the 8.6, the AE86 is a Corolla.
Okay.
Is a Toyota Corolla.
Okay.
That was the baseline Corolla.
Interesting.
So that was like, but like our baseline Corollas now suck.
Yeah.
That's just fact.
When I see a Corolla, I go, Corolla.
I drove the baseline Corolla when I was in. By the way, we got trashed. We were supposed to get a Kia, actually, a Kia K5 base model, but we were supposed to get that, but they just gave us because we bought the tier above, and we got the Corolla, which was so garbage.
You talking about like renting?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah. So it was just the CVT in that engine. The engine was okay. I can give the Corolla's engine a pass. The CVT was terrible. I had to drive it without traction control in the snow
That's crazy.
to get going forward.
anywhere?
Down the mountain, I was driving without traction control.
Which is not the best move.
No, but if I did it
to.
with traction control, it would lock a tire.
Oh my gosh.
So it had like an electronic LSD or something, or not an LSD at all, but yeah, it would lock tires, and it was really scary. Or it would just burn one tire out, and the other one would stay still. When it was parked in the snow and it snowed and the day we were leaving, I had to back it out with my prowess for driving.
Yeah.
When I was finally backing out, I got it and I was like, oh, I smell burning. I had burnt the tire on ice. I have a video of this.
You just spun it so much?
Yeah, I spun it so much that it like, I don't know, it was the ice was there.
Oh.
And the tire was smoking.
It didn't even burn the ice. It burnt the tire.
It burnt
That's
the tire.
Funny.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How do you? Oh my gosh. That's like defies the laws of friction.
Yeah. So the Corolla back then was a fantastic car.
Yeah.
For the time.
If it's the 86, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of other. There's the 8.5 that was pretty good. Wasn't great, but it was pretty good.
Yeah.
The 8.6 was pretty much one of the better driver cars of the time. And now we're getting the GR Corolla, which is supposed to be our 4-door hatch.
Not shitty Corolla nowadays.
Exactly. Okay. It's not good. It most likely will not share a lot with the Corolla. I don't think it will share an engine. I don't think it will even share a chassis with our Corolla.
It's probably good
I think it'll be the European Corolla chassis.
Interesting.
So smaller, more compact, and the ability for all-wheel drive.
Which would be nice for rally.
And manual transmission. But that's my last point on cars. You good?
Yeah. Me yawn. Me look like a meth head.
Yeah, you do. But they did I'll have to show you the release after this. When they announced it. Chill out. when they released this afterwards, because
Of the Corolla.
because what they did was so sick. It actually like shocked me when they were doing it. It was like it was a GR ad, so like people would go GRs, and that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And it was like, we should do a flying V. And they were like, well, we only have 2 cars. How could we do a flying V? And then out of nowhere, it goes black, and then you see the taillights of the Corolla light up.
Oh my.
And then you hear the engine, and it sounds, oh man,
That's kinda
it is
cool.
a chilling
That's kind of
video.
cool. I'll have to watch.
Yeah. Alrighty.
But I started watching a couple shows just because they're fun. I started watching Reacher, which is Amazon Prime's new show. I don't know the actor in it, but he's huge. Dude's massive. So, Jack Reacher was a movie. I don't know any more about it. I think it's based on some book. But Jack Reacher before, there's a movie called Jack Reacher. Had Tom Cruise in it. Tom Cruise is a huge badass guy.
Yeah.
He beats shit out of people. He's like this ex-CIA guy who like kind of like goes in this town and like does all these things. Type like John Wick style, where he goes into this like town and is like, whatever, I shoot people now. But yeah, so he goes to this town and it's like there's like a murder in this like tiny little Georgia town, and it's like it's a whole like big deal, and he's like at the site of the murder, and it's like, oh, he's this bad guy, so they like arrest him and stuff, and they put him in jail. But he goes through this really cool like thing of like he gets out of jail, he uncovers this mystery, he like helps them uncover this mystery, and he's like a super like very cut and dry guy. He's like this ex-CIA guy.
Like kind of like a.
I do things by the book, and no one can tell me differently. And it kind of like branches him out, which I just loved it. I don't know why.
So is it a show or a movie?
It's a show.
Okay.
Which I don't. For some reason, I like shows more than I like movies.
I can get behind that.
Something about like just sitting like watching like binging a show is just so.
It's
much
also
fun.
longer.
Yeah,
and
it's
like,
longer and it's more enjoyable.
It can, and sometimes movies are limited because of their time.
True. Like All Hail King Julian, your
Shut up, dude.
famed fever dream. Discussed in .02. Yeah, you love that show.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
From
actually.
3 a.m. to 7.
It's my number 1 favorite. I would like to say it's not a fever dream.
It is a fever dream.
No.
And you can say nothing about it because it's your fever dream. Also, but yeah, that's Reacher. I mean, it's not much else. It's super good. I like the actor.
You're just talking about it.
It's
yeah.
kind of like a detective type thing. Like they kind of uncover this
It's not a
mystery.
whodunit though.
It's not a who. Well, I mean, it's like it's not the person you always think it was. It's like it's kind of cool to like learn that, but like.
It's not a true whodunit.
No, it's not a true whodunit.
So it's just a mystery.
It's just a mystery kind of thing, but it's like it's got like some cool like aspects of it. Like he's like ex-CIA. You kind of learn his backstory.
For real.
It's pretty cool. Speaking of like new shows that are coming out, Moon Knight comes out tomorrow.
Okay, I saw an ad for Moon Knight.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
So,
because I don't follow the shows of Marvel shows.
You don't follow the shows?
No.
Which I don't think this one has any connection. Have you not watched Loki? Bro.
Should I? Really?
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Loki like sets it all up.
Is it really that good?
Loki sets everything up. Loki set up Spider-Man, kind of.
Okay.
It basically like the whole time thing kind of like comes into the picture. But yeah, Moon Knight comes out tomorrow. So Moon Knight is like this new show where there's this guy based on like comics. I don't know if his thing is based around the comics, but from what I had a friend Julian in school, he was like talking.
I know about
Moon Knight.
like Moonlight being a Marvel character.
Yeah, Moon Knight's like this Marvel character kind of guy where he wears all white, looks super cool. He's got like crescent things that he has like both daggers. It's so cool. But he can't tell whether he's like dreaming or awake.
Oh shoot. That's
so it's gonna bring this really interesting thing of like, is this real or is this not real?
Yeah.
And it like you kinda have to be like thinking of like, is this a real thing or not?
Yeah.
Which I also had a conversation with a buddy at work today. There's like so many good movies that like kind of bend your brain. Tenet was one of those. Tenet bends your brain super good.
Tenet was phenomenal.
Tenet was phenomenal. I also looked at the Rotten Tomatoes review on that. 69%.
What?
Which is kind of crazy.
On Tenet?
Yeah.
What?
Which I was kind of like, what the heck? Like, this
dude, was
like
that just our little like school thing that we like everybody
been.
freaked out?
I loved it.
It was a really good movie to me.
But I talked about
69%,
which kind of a high number, but like it's like
it's not that. It's 70%.
It's not. I mean, the 69 is a hype number, but
it's a hype number. Yeah, that's
but
true.
Like that's like so low.
It deserved a little bit higher.
I thought it deserved way higher.
I would have given it an 80%.
I would have given it an 80 above.
Yeah, I wouldn't have given it
probably
a
mid high 80s.
But like the filming of it is so pristine.
I think the only thing that I would dock them points for, and it could maybe be worth 10 if you're really stingy, was their sound design. Their sound design in theaters was pretty butt poor.
Yeah, it was really
the
loud.
The gunshots were so loud. The music would like drown out dialogue. You know, you couldn't hear a lot of the dialogue.
At the beginning, it was it like scared me on how loud it was.
The gunshot scared everyone in the theater.
Yeah,
no one.
Which if they kept that one loud, that'd be cool.
That'd be fine.
But if
they
rounded
one.
Everything up to be that way, and it just it did give me a little bit of a headache the first time through when I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, another really mind-bending movie that I talked to him about was Chappie. I don't know if you've seen the movie Chappie.
No.
But Chappie basically deals with this this robot. He's like, you know, he's this. They make robots for these like soldiers in Africa, and they're like they, do like police work so that men don't have to and they don't die on the job. You know, because like in Johannesburg, they like make it where crime is really bad, which it's future, so who knows. But it's like, and so like it's really dangerous to be out there. But so they make these robots, and one of the robots is like is defective, and then this guy who's like the programmer and makes the AI has his own like AI that he's like been working on and whatever. He makes robots and stuff. So he puts the AI into the defective robot and like kind of gives him a name. His name is Chappie, and he learns stuff. But then these gangsters like kidnap him to get like they want to do some job of like a heist or whatever. So they kidnap him, they take him, and the AI learns these bunch of things from these gangsters and from him, and it's like this big battle of who gets him. But at the end, I'm just gonna skip because it's a pain. But and it's an old movie, so spoilers if you don't want to know Chappie.
This is your last spoiler warning.
Skip ahead to here you go. It's an old movie, but basically the guy is going to die. Like the guy that made Chappie is going to die, and Chappie's like trying to help him like survive because he's his maker and he's got this attachment to him.
Right.
And so what he does is he uploads his consciousness to a robot. Because he's made this thing where you can like read your own brain. And so he uploads his consciousness as data to this robot. And basically this robot takes on his own consciousness and is him. Which really is interesting because at that point, you're not you.
Yeah, that's kind of...
You are not... Yeah. Like, this is a robot that knows every bit of you,
but it's not you.
That's you're not alive to see it.
They did that in Invincible, too, yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, the robot.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of, yeah. It wasn't on like a big enough scale.
Yeah, but I was just saying that idea of just...
Your consciousness living on forever.
Yeah, and not it being you.
But it is you. Like, it is you, but it's not you.
So it's like, for instance, it is not me, but it is you.
It is every aspect of me and every learning ability of me, but it is not my own.
It's so weird.
It's so interesting and cool to think about, and I love mind-bending movies like that.
So, yeah, I guess the way to put that is nobody would know if it was in a perfect copy. There's only one person that would know.
Exactly.
And that would be you.
Yeah.
Because if it was in the... same way that it like let's take Invincible into Reach, right?
Yeah.
If they are both that young and only one of them had a terminal illness or whatever, let's say like instead of being the glob that he actually is, and they were both just like the young kid, right? If they were both like that, and you were selected, you would never know if you were the original.
Exactly.
Like if you were not identified somehow, there was no chance to see if you had survived being the original.
Exactly. It's so interesting.
Yeah, that is very...
but Abbott Elementary, I started watching Abbott Elementary.
Yeah.
Which is a show on Hulu, which is kind of like brings this new perspective, it brings this new like era of office level films. It's like, like your cheeky camera zoom.
Do you mean a mockumentary?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess that's the word. I didn't.
Is it in an office?
No. So it's in a school. Is there that?
Oh!
So it's all these teachers, and they're basically documented by their principal.
Right, it's the mockumentary, yeah.
Was like, I brought these cameras in here.
Okay, so weird.
She's quirky and like isn't really a principal, but it's super funny. I just love it. So basically, like, their principal isn't really a principal. She like uses school funds to do her hair. In one of the episodes, she buys a sign with her face on it.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny. It's got the actor from, Everybody Hates Chris. The show?
No.
You have no idea? I heard it. So there's a show called Everybody Hates Chris, which Chris Rock plays in. He's the narrator. So it's supposed to be his life. It's Everybody Hates Chris. And his actor is super funny. But he's older, and so now he works as his teacher in this show. It's just so funny. I don't. It's like it's cool because it brings this new light to mockumentaries.
Right.
Because like it's a new era. Obviously, The Office is funny.
Yeah.
And like millennials enjoy that a lot.
I would say
and
that
I think even our generation enjoys it.
I would say that I enjoyed The Office and the Parks and Rec and
You love
Arrested
Community,
Development.
too.
Have you ever Community as well? Community.
Those are all good shows.
I watched that pretty
your
early
bedtime
on,
show?
actually. But when I finished The Office, I was like, okay, next one. And I found something, you know.
Yeah, and it's I love The Office.
And
Everyone does.
there's a few other shows that I like from the creator of Parks and Rec. I want to say
Could
is
be.
The Good Place.
Yes, that was.
I
unfortunate.
really like that show, but that's not a
think it's a good
mockumentary.
place.
But talking about mockumentaries, there isn't really a large one up, is there?
No.
I don't think if I really. I guess if you are Canadian, there's Cloud 9, but that's a terrible show.
No, I've seen Cloud 9.
I don't like that show.
I don't watch Cloud 9. That's the super. No, it's not.
Superstore.
No, it's not.
It's Superstore.
That's what you mean.
Yeah,
It's
Superstore. It's a terrible show.
Superstore's not Canadian. It's on Hulu.
It's Canadian though.
Oh,
It's a Canadian-made show.
It's maybe NBC.
Yeah,
I
but
guess
watch
it's
to the end, and you'll see the Canadian logo, like
It's crazy.
Canada maple syrup. You know.
That's weird. But I like Superstore. It was fun. It was not as good as
I wouldn't. Yeah, I tried watching it. The reason I really didn't, I just thought all the actors were bad, and I did not like the manager.
I love Jonah. Jonah's
the main guy.
love
I didn't
Jonah.
like his whole, oh, I'm gonna go date this chick, whatever the hell her name is.
That's kind of what Abbott Elementary does. But I think Abbott Elementary does a good thing because it's like they like kind of bring this new era in of like young people getting into the workforce.
Oh,
Which is kind of cool because I mean these aren't like
are they showing like are you mean like millennials and like earlier Gen X?
they're
getting
like
into the workforce?
they're like I think in the show they're like supposed to be like kind of like upper 20s.
Gen Z. I mean, not Gen X.
They're like upper 20s. So I guess kind of millennial, yeah.
Yeah, millennial. Era.
But I mean like it's still kind of good because they're all like I mean
it's actually people of our time.
it's people of our time, yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of like brings in today's era's like stuff like, you know, TikTok and social media and
Okay.
like, social problems and stuff. Like schools not getting enough funding. That's like the whole point of the show.
That's fine.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And so it brings us new light into kind of mockumentaries. Of like The Office is great because it's just fun, you know. It's funny, but this one kind of like has its like deeper meanings.
Is this more of a Okay, I was gonna ask. Is this more of a story? Because like The Office, as I see it, was not primarily a story based, and I think a lot of people would fight me on that, going, "Oh, but Jim and Pan's storyline and everybody." But this is how it is. It's a storyline. It's one of many.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's a natural arc. There are multiple arcs for multiple characters that happen at multiple times.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that it's a story-based show. I think it is a comedy-based show.
Yeah.
That is developed into a story-based show.
I wouldn't call it story based. I think it's.
But going back to like the reason, like, the reason I really didn't like Superstore is because I just didn't like the plots. I thought they were just kind of boring.
Plots were kind of shit.
I think the one that like really made me distaste for the show was they were gonna rent a like a blow up something or another, but it was a rat and it wasn't actually what they wanted.
That's funny.
It was either they were trying to get a wolf and they accidentally got a rat, or it's just like I was kind of like, okay.
The tornado is funny. I like the tornado.
Never saw that part.
Yeah.
But like I
thought you were
saw like until season 2, and I was like, I have to give up on this show.
Oh yeah, I think I got further than that. My dad and I were binging that show because it was fun. Yeah, I think Abbott Elementary could be. I wouldn't say the next Office. I don't think you can ever say it would be the next Office. But I think it's going to be another mockumentary that people remember. I would say probably maybe Parks and Rec's level.
Parks and Rec
was not as big as The Office.
Yeah, and I think that's just because it was like how it was.
Also, The Office was on Netflix.
So was Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec, I thought was just on Hulu.
No, it was on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah.
On that.
So I would say that the reason I think Parks and Rec came out at a weird time and competed with The Office.
Yeah.
But it competed with The Office during the point where The Office was at the biggest.
Yes.
So it didn't suffice in where it needed to suffice.
Because then you don't get your Office stands.
Exactly.
Office. That's it.
But like I would not say that I can remember a lot of plot lines and every character's name the way that I can remember everybody in The Office.
Yeah, Parks and Rec is just. I mean, it's memorable, but it's not as memorable.
Yeah,
like Community. I feel like also Community is so small.
I would give Community a higher tier than Parks and Rec.
I would. I think Community
I think it's because I can just remember it.
I think you can remember it, and it's more tight knit. I feel like it's like your core group. Like Parks and Rec.
There was a
big.
cult-like following of the Community series.
That too.
It was created by Dan Harmon.
Really?
He was a Rick and Morty guy.
I have seen that. That's cool though.
There's actually a scene. You've watched Rick and Morty, right?
Hot take: Community better than Rick and Morty.
That's not a hot take.
Hot take because I want it to be, damn it. So, I think it's crazy that the fish from Shark Tale slapped the shit out of Marty from Madagascar. That is probably the craziest thing ever. I thought it was fake. I still kind of think it was fake.
The reason I don't think it was faked, I think they're good actors, sure. But I don't think Chris Rock could really act that good.
True.
In front of, knowing that he's in front of, like, basically everybody.
That's true.
And
I don't know, Chris Rock did pretty good Marty.
Yeah, Marty was a pretty good character. It's weird because I would like to say that everything links back to Madagascar.
All hail King Julian.
Yeah.
Those rock lemurs.
Oh, the rock lemurs. Those damn rock lemurs.
He's fiending. He's drooling at the mouth. Salivating.
Yeah. I would like to do a countdown, and then I want to... Because I cannot be friends with you if you're not on my side on this.
What?
Chris Rock was in the right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Will Smith was in the wrong.
I think Will Smith was in the wrong. A lot of people were like, Will Smith is offending Jada. I'm like, I don't care. You're at an awards show. Your job is to get made fun of. You're an actor. You get paid millions of dollars. Shut up and sit down and take it.
Yeah.
And Chris Rock does the same thing. He gets paid to do this.
Yeah.
You know,
it's also his job to make fun of people.
It's his job. He got paid to do this. He doesn't get a choice. I mean, he does, but it's like if he doesn't, then he's not funny, and he loses all credibility.
Yeah. If he didn't take that host, I feel like he would have gotten blacklisted.
No, because I didn't remember who Chris Rock was until today. Except for Marty.
Marty, dude. How could you forget about Marty?
Right. I forgot about Marty. And Everybody Hates Chris. I love Everybody Hates Chris.
I've never seen
Everybody Hates Chris Stan, but I also watched that when I was at my grandma's house because it was living on.
Right.
Crazy story.
Sitcom type stuff.
Yeah, it was super funny. He's like the narrator the whole time, and he makes it super funny.
So
and he's black and like in all white communities, so his teachers are just blatantly racist to him.
Is Everybody Hate Chris the one that?
You probably know. You've probably seen.
Is the dad?
Terry Crews?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
His dad is Terry Crews.
I have.
His mom is crazy.
Because I remember.
You probably know the actor that I'm talking about, Ben.
I know the kid, right?
That's it. Yeah.
The kid, and I remember being like, so.
He's got a best friend.
Right, but the one scene I remember prolific a lot is that it was a scene. He's like. She goes, "Oh, I know you don't got a dad, so we'll put you with two partners."
Yeah.
And he goes, "I've got a dad," and she goes, "I know."
Yeah, no. It's such a.
I didn't know that was Everybody Hates Chris.
She's like blatantly racist. Yeah. I love it. But it's like he's like his job is to be funny. Yeah. His job is not to sit there and be like the award goes to the whole time because that's boring.
Yeah.
You get the Oscars already don't get watched by half of our generation. If
and that's the reason people want to say it's fake.
Exactly.
But I just think it is a shocking thing, and that they didn't go on Twitter and start ranting about it. The both of them. Mm-hmm. And then there's also the fact that, I mean, I just think it's, sometimes I'm like. I'm kind of proud of Will Smith for standing up for another man's girl, because
that is crazy. I'm like, that's crazy that you like. that is crazy. Because I didn't know about this. I had no.
You didn't know about the whole.
I did not. I don't keep up with a lot. I mean, I keep up with some pop culture stuff, but I don't keep up with that much. Like Will Smith likes. I don't give a shit. Yeah. Dude did Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Go away. Cool. Gemini Man, you looked terrible.
Yeah, that was a really bad movie.
People were like, that movie's like groundbreaking. I'm like, shut up.
Oh, 60 frames!
You have no friends. Move on.
Yeah.
But, that's crazy.
I do advocate for 60 frames on movies, by the way.
True, but not when you have a CGI version of yourself as younger.
Wait, it's CGI?
That's what I thought it was.
Oh, I thought they just ran two images. Like, they just filmed twice. No. Like, all about.
Yeah, his whole thing was like,
man, if it's CGI, it's gotta look bad.
Yeah, it does. Have you not seen the movie?
No, I did not. Well, I didn't want to. Yeah.
But so Yeah, that is crazy. That like she cheats on you and stand up for her.
Yeah.
I would not.
So after they...
One, I wouldn't stay with her if she cheats on me. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's already a red flag in general.
She has a show that she just, like, smacks him every day. Not smacks him, but, like... Yeah. I
so
mean...
he was just letting it out.
Yeah, I mean...
On Chris. Everybody hates Chris.
And if you look at the video, you can blatantly see him laughing at the joke. And
I
then
know.
he turns and he goes, you know... Ooh. It's just alopecia, man.
Oh my god.
I'm taking... If it was leukemia, man, and you lost your hair,
Yeah.
then I'd be like, maybe don't make that joke.
Yeah, that's fair.
But, like...
Yeah, I don't think it is, because I know there's a fitness influencer that I followed that got alopecia. And he just shaved his head, and that was it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think him... So what I saw this... I don't know if you know who Atrioc is, but I watch Atrioc.
Yeah,
he was
I know
like,
Atrioc.
He was like... Will Smith caught lacking when he was laughing, and then he overcorrected. He was like laughing. He was like having a good time, and he looks at Jada. She's not laughing. He's like, "I gotta fix this."
Jada Pinkett Smith.
And so he goes over and he also the wind up. I had when I was sitting at my table at lunch the other day. They were talking about how he comes up and he comes up and he like goes all the way through. He brings the hammer down.
Yeah, but you see Chris Rock like move with.
I know he like kind of moves with it and like comes down and like.
And that's another reason people. I'm like, but people know how to dodge slaps. I feel like that's a very human instinct of thing to do.
Yeah.
People are like, he knew when to dodge it though, and I was like, when a hand starts going at you, you kind of like move.
You kind of like
Yeah.
Yeah. The slap already looks fake. The lead up kind of looks fake. My one thing after that is he goes, "This is the greatest night on television," and I'm like, okay, well that's a little much.
See, what
Chris Rock says that.
Yeah,
which is kind of
and then he sits down. This is another reason I don't think it's fake, because if it is faked, they had to fake it everywhere, because the only reason we have audio that we can hear him go, "Get my wife's name out your mouth," right?
Yeah.
And the only reason we know about that is because in Japan they didn't censor it.
Yeah, because I remember watching
In America and everywhere
Yeah,
they killed the audio.
which I guess is fair. I didn't actually know that
So-
because I remember seeing a video and it was like translating it directly in Japanese, and I was like, they're not gonna say that.
Yeah, they killed the audio on the American stream.
Oh, okay.
And so there was no audio. So that is another reason, like, I don't think that they would test
the
their
audio.
viewers like that.
Yeah.
Be like, that is something you do not do in like the film business. You do not cut audio on live.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's true.
I just find that wild.
It is crazy. I mean, it's like, it's also kind of like, it's kind of immature, is what I was thinking. It's like, to do that in like such a public place, I guess you want to humiliate him. That's like your goal initially. But it's like, there's so many...
You can't humiliate somebody for making a joke.
That is also true. Again, that's his job. Like, if the guy... I don't know who did it. The last guy who did the Oscars, maybe. He's British. He was in The Office UK, I think.
I know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
The Michael Scott of The Office UK is what he's talking about.
The dude was like... The dude made, I'm sure, 10 times worse.
Oh!
I would have to guess.
Well, it's UK,
Yeah.
Welcome to people who live in the UK.
Exactly. Like, it's like no holds barred, pinky up,
Yeah, so...
throwing tea and crumpets all at you. But it's like, why is it different when Chris Rock does it, to Will Smith's wife? It's just, come on. Like, take a joke.
He could have played it off so many times better. After, he could have went up there and talked to him. Be like, man, I did not appreciate that. But the other thing that drives me nuts is these people are friends.
I know.
Will Smith and Chris Rock were friends.
Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah. The schlap.
The schlap.
Which it's like... It's not that serious.
It's just
Like,
alopecia.
it is a joke.
She also says that on her, like, I think the only reason... I don't think he would have made the joke. Unless, like, he knew that she jokes about it on her TV.
Yeah.
She lets people joke about it on her television, on her, like, Instagram lives. She lets people joke about it and blah, blah. She doesn't get mad. She goes, oh, that's a good one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's smiling through it all.
Yeah.
If you're smiling through it all and then, you get offended because of one thing, tough luck.
Why is this different? Yeah.
And people are also linking Chris Rock, saying, oh, he should have never made that joke. That joke is so insensitive to black females. Because he made a show called Bad... He made a movie or documentary. He made a documentary called Bad Hair Day. Editor here, and I'm going to mention Chris Rock's documentary as Bad Hair Day or Bad Hair instead of its actual title, Good Hair. Sorry for that. Alopecia does target black females the most.
Yeah.
But that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Being bald is also a thing that happens.
True. Yeah, you guys lose their hairline and they basically have to go bald.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot, just baldness in general. Like people at 25 have male pattern baldness.
Yeah, and that's not invalidating, a black woman's,
Sure. Yeah, that's not what I mean. But
vulnerability
what I'm saying is that just because he made a documentary stating the problems.
Who did? Chris Rock?
Chris Rock made the documentary. Yeah. I think, and people are like, oh, he knew how bad this was to not joke about it. He's the reason a lot of people know about it in the first place. He can make a joke about it.
Yeah.
People are linking it back and going, this is irreplaceable. Like, this is terrible. I don't think that joke was anywhere near as bad.
And another guys I was talking to, they were like, if Chris Rock really wanted to, he could have done so much worse. Like he could have violated both of them after that. Like he could have gone into Will Smith's
with
career,
their public history,
Gemini Man, anything. Yeah, the cheating. Like I mean, he could have thrown you under 12 buses over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Like it did not matter, but he did, which I think shows a bigger man. To be honest with you.
No, Chris Rock is. That's why I'm on Chris Rock's side.
Yeah, and it's like you can't even like blame the guy. It's his job. Like he's literally paid to do that exact thing.
Yeah.
You taking it out on him is crazy. Mm-mm. Like that is not your responsibility.
I just don't think it's just not cool.
Yeah.
I would have I tried to think about this. I was like, I went up to Cole, him, and I was like, if we ever 5 years apart, and then I made a joke about your balding wife, would you go up there and slap me? And he goes, not a chance.
Yeah.
I don't think that just a joke would get me to the point where I would.
But I feel like, the joke was in good heart. The joke was funny. I don't know the reference, but I mean, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
You can't I don't know. Yeah, if you made fun of me for me going bald, and it was funny, I'd be like, that's funny, and we would laugh about it.
People take their faults.
Even if it was on live television, I don't give a shit. His job is to be on television.
Yeah.
Both of them.
You knew what you were expecting.
She has a reality show thing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You are already dealing with it.
She doesn't. Maybe a real. She has a show. I'm not sure if it's
a reality show. The Smiths have a show, which also fuck that family. Sorry, I just Will Smith.
I've heard so many bad things about.
Come on.
Yeah, Will Smith.
Stop televising it. You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
I don't know. I haven't seen a movie in Will Smith that I've actually enjoyed in a long time.
Gemini Man.
Oh, I love myself some Gemini Man.
But it's just you gotta. I feel like you gotta be stronger than that. Come on.
Take a punch.
And I guess it's because it's your wife, but it's I don't know. I have friends that would have different takes on it. You can't really justify it at that point. I feel like one, she cheated on you. I don't know why you're defending her. She is already, I think, fucked up past the brink of return, in my opinion.
Right.
Maybe Will Smith's different.
Right.
Beta male. Whatever. Go ahead, kiddo. But come on now. How can you defend someone that did that to you? I feel and granted, I don't know all the circumstances. I have, everybody has their own circumstances and stuff like this. But it's I feel like you can't justify it then. There's no possible way. You're kind of in a rut there.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't think he's tweeting about it, because he has no justification. It was an impulsive thing that he did, on intuition.
Once he sat down, he was like, I gotta double down.
He was double down. If
he just went and sat back down, Chris Rock would have thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
And the whole problem would have been over.
Yeah.
If he thought about it for more than a half a second,
He was gotta double down.
Yeah. Because he started screaming. Because everybody thought it was a joke, and everybody thought it was a good humor.
Because everybody was laughing when he.
And I think just going up there and just slapping him is fine.
And leaving would have been funny.
Yeah,
it would have been funny.
I think it would have been fine to get the point across, because it really. I'm sure he cranked back and slapped him, but it's a slap. He didn't go bang. Yeah. You know what I mean?
If he punched him, they're brawling. Which is, honestly, good for the Oscars. I forgot the Oscars were a thing. I didn't even know they were on.
I didn't know either.
And then I hear about
that's the main reason people are like, oh, it's a fake.
Because nobody in Gen Z knew about it.
Because I could definitely be a day from now, somebody could tell you, oh, it was completely fake, and I'd be like, oh, makes sense.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, but I think the conversation is more than that.
Yeah, it's more like who's a
who's in the right, who's in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of not a moral thing.
It is kind of like a philosophical.
Yeah, it's a little philosophical question.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's facts. Let's go get a Whataburger.
Yeah.
That's hype.
All right. That's a good one.
That was a good one.